Hello, everyone. Let's get today's presentation started. Thank you for coming. I see all you pouring in some familiar names, so excited to have you here. My name is Aina Rockman, if you don't know that already. I'm the marketing coordinator at Kendis. And today we're also joined by Justin Oki, who is in charge of sales and partnerships. And he'll be doing the main presentation a little bit later. And we're also joined by members of the Kendis support team who will be answering questions virtually for you all. And if you've been to our clinics before, you know that process, but I'll explain it a little later, just how to ask questions and everything. Next slide, please, Justin. Yeah, so we're talking about our timeline view today. Oh, slide before, sorry about that, couldn't see. Talking about our timeline view today, as well as some future plans for the future, and then we'll be fielding your questions at the end. And we know you have been waiting for a timeline feature from Kendis. We get questions about it all the time, so today's the day. And we're excited to hear your feedback. So before that, next slide, Justin. Let's talk a little bit about tracking. As you know, Kendis is a tool for your entire program increment, and it's not just about the PI planning. So with that in mind, Justin and I wanted to take a quick poll about your tracking practices. And although I think many of you are non-Kendis users from the list that I've seen, this is just a quick question for our current users. So yeah, let's launch that poll. I got it here. Here we go. So how often do you use Kendis for tracking? And those options are going to be every day before my morning coffee, you know, like clockwork, once or twice a week, every 2 weeks, or you didn't know that we did tracking, but now you do, and you will discover more about it, hopefully. Yeah, Justin, you there? I hear you.
Yeah, I like the answer. I'm just laughing. Okay, this tracking? Oh, I didn't know.
Yeah. Okay, we're getting votes rolling in. Last chance to vote, everyone. Let's see. Okay, I'll close it. Results. Mostly once or twice a week. I think that's predictable, yeah. Every day. That's more than I thought would be.
No, it's good. I think it should
Yeah.
be every day, shouldn't it? That's what we're hoping for with Kendis, and it's great that so many people know that Kendis is actually not just for PI planning. It did start as a PI planning tool, as most of you will know, but you know we really are building up on that tracking element. Hence, clinics like this with what we're doing and building.
Yeah, yeah. I'll hide those. We'll get back into the slides. You want to talk about that next slide real quick?
Yeah, sure. I just wanted to offer consultation because as we've all sort of seen, lots of people do PR planning in pretty much the same way. I mean, the ceremonies all sort of drawn out, but what we find are companies track in various different ways. So I just wanted to offer the services of myself and the team and everybody else. If you wanted to have a consultation about your own tracking side in your company, then please, I know you're going to put a link in the chat there.
Yes.
It'll be fancy and book some time with myself or the team, or just email the team directly, team@kendis.io, and then we can book some time together. Okay.
Yes, awesome. I'm sending that link right now. It's the same one that was on the slide, everyone. So yeah, okay. Thank you for that, for hopping in. I'm going to take over a little bit more, and then Justin will get back to the actual timeline view presentation. So I'm just going to go through a few quick housekeeping things. The recording of this session will be available afterwards on our website, as with all our other clinics and webinar recordings. So this is our main page of our website right here. If you click on that events button at the top, it'll take you to, next slide, Justin, this page, our events page, and that shows our upcoming events. And when you scroll down, it'll show the next slide, which shows our past events. And that's all of our recordings for all of those. You can go and check those out. And this one will be there. after today. So there you go. And you can send those links to your teams and all of that. Speaking of events, I want to talk about our next event, which is on the next slide. Yeah, and our next event will be Scrum Master activities in SAFe. So we will be outlining specific actions for Scrum Masters who are working in SAFe, as well as some best practices in Kendis as well. And that'll be on November 30th next month. So mark that down. You can register with that QR code, that link, or I will be sending that link in the follow-up email for this clinic as usual. So you can also register there. And that'll be a great clinic to send out to your teams, your Scrum Masters, that the recording or the registration for that. So it's a good one. Look forward to seeing you all there. Yeah, next slide. So lastly, I have a couple things. At the end of today, there will be an end survey where you can submit topics. The first question will be, you can submit topics you would like us to cover in these clinics, some suggestions, and we do read those. Next month's clinic is actually like based off of suggestions that we got from all of you. So thank you for those, and maybe think about that for the end and give us some suggestions. And then there'll be a couple optional feedback questions as well on that survey. So let us know your thoughts. And then last but not least, the questions. I want to go over this. If you've been here before, you know how it works, but I just want to clarify. So if you look at your screen, there is a question box on there, and our support team will be answering the questions in there. So, and that'll just happen virtually during the talk, so it won't interrupt the presentation. And that'll be really technical questions, all of that, so you can go ahead and ask questions in there. And then at the end, Justin will prompt you to ask questions verbally, and you'll use the raise hand feature on your screen, and then we can unmute you and you can ask questions from there. So go ahead and locate those now, just so you're super prepared to be inquisitive for our presentation. I believe that's all I have, so I'm going to give it to Justin for the presentation.
Thank you, Ina. Okay, so guys, this is the timeline view. At the moment, it's still within a board. I say at the moment because things are going to change very soon. But at the moment, the access to a timeline view is in a board. So I'm going to click through my board here and access the timeline view. So it will be under the more here, more of more. And then this is the timeline view here. You click into here and you'll have access. Now, when you first go into it, of course, if you haven't got anything on your board, it will be empty. At the moment, it is what we are focusing on are the features within your PI, so your program increment. So when you've done your PI planning, or certainly if you've brought in features on that left-hand side, they will appear in here. I will talk you through step by step with what everything is and how to set it up. And I'll just start on the left-hand side here. So the idea is the order of these features are the same order that you have on the board. So if we have 1, 2, 8, 3. If I was just to make that a bit nicer and just drag the 3 here and change the prioritization order, I should, live demos, it should alter the list. Yes. So it alters the list here. So you'll get the list according to what's on the board. So if you've reprioritized it, it will be reprioritized here. So these would be the features. Those of you that use Jira, it will be your Jira ethics, presumably. So it's the parent items of the user stories. And what you're seeing here are actually the teams that are going to be working on those features on the board. So if I wanted to drag out and see what the actual title was, I can do that. And even notice we've got something here where you can click back and forth here where you can open that up for you and get just more information. These little dots, these are the status of the features And when you hover on them, you'll see what they actually mean, the colors of them, whether it's to do, in progress, or done. When you open up these features, you'll be able to see the user stories as well underneath them. So if I, oh, where am I going? Let me refresh this now. Okay, live demo curse. There we go. There we go. So if I was to open up this feature, I see the user stories that the teams are working on underneath, and of course which iterations they're in. But then of course, if I look across, I can also see which iterations they're being worked on. And the colors that you're seeing here are also their statuses. So this feature 1, book management system, we can see the percentage of completion. We can see the user stories that need to be worked on. So for example, we see that this one is done. This story is done in sprint 1 by this team. And if I wanted to see, yeah, this one is to do, miles 10 to do in iteration 2. We've also got another user story that's in progress, so that's not right. What you can do is actually drag these from here rather than going to the program board. So all of these you can drag. You'll be prompted to actually put it in this proper sprint or iteration, and of course that will be changed now in Jira. So these are movable objects in here, and when you move them, you'll be prompted to do it properly. It will be reflected on the board as well as being updated in Jira or Azure DevOps. Okay. If you wanted to open up and find out more information about the feature, you click on the feature here, and you can click the top to get more information. So all of the information, I think even relating to WizGIF, yeah, you get all of the information relating to that feature. If you do want to go to your ALM, whether it's Jira or Azure DevOps, you click on here and it will take you to your ALM. So for those of you that know it before, you just used to click on the board, you just click on here once and it will take you to your ALM. But we provide the summary first, and then you're allowed to click, you have to click here to go into your ALM. So that's the idea. So that's a bit of a change of behavior for that one, but you can obviously see that because we've got a lot of information about these particular features. You can hover on all of these as well to get all of the information that you need. So you'll see that we've got 20%, so it's 20% completion. I can even click on there and see what we're talking about. So it's user story status. Okay, so those are the features. We have got, you'll see that we've also got something else called milestones at the top. These ones stay here. And actually, yeah, maybe it should be called milestones and phases. They are milestones. I think everybody knows what a milestone is. If we've got something coming up, a particular date coming up, an event's coming up that we're doing things for, then you set that up as a milestone. So you can add as many milestones as you like to this timeline view. And when you add it, you add a title, you add a description, you can have a status to these milestones, and of course you can have responsible people and the date. But you can also have phases in this, which I'll talk about in a second. With a milestone, once I've completed that kind of initial setup of a milestone, I can go back into it and you'll see that now I can add features, a bit like you can in the objectives and all of those areas in Kendis. You can add features that relate to this particular milestone, when you throw in. That way, you can actually group by the milestone and see the milestone in the various iterations that are going to be completed, which I will show you more in a second. But if you have got a set of features that you care about for a particular milestone, then it's good to link them. These ones are phases, and you'll see here, rather than just I was going to say a blob, a shape in the middle of the sprint, you'll get kind of like a block, because actually phase is what we mean is like a period of time. So here, for example, whether it's code freeze, whether it's testing, however, whatever it is, you can actually put that phase in here. And again, you can link the features in there if you need to. Now, this will always show, these milestones will always show. I just need to tell you about, just because it's in a different place, I'm just remembering. These statuses here, you can change the status to whatever status you need to in your workflow. So when you're setting up your workflow, and you go off this board, go into your settings there, and you'll see workflows. For those of you that don't know that this is there, you can actually change workflows on quite a lot of things. And these two relate to the ones I'm showing today. So you just edit, and then you can put whatever workflow you like. Okay. So that's how you set that one up. Going back now to the timeline view. There we go. So milestones will always be there. Phases will be whatever you make it. The order of milestones will be the dates as well. Now, we're calling it milestones, and you will get the ID that it's a milestone, but you can name it whatever you would like here, because it may be a particular project, program, or whatever, release even, and you can select which features that kind of relates to. Because up here, what you've got are group by items. So when you've got a milestone with a handful of features, it might be that you just want to see by milestone how much how completed it is, if that makes sense. What the progress is of these particular milestones. So for example, if this was a program here, we're able to see, okay, we're 33% completed. I can actually either open this up and see which features relate to that, or I could have just clicked on there and just got the information through for the milestones. So I can open all of these up and get all of the features that have linked to those milestones and just see how they're doing. And of course, if something doesn't make sense, so if the milestone is, milestone 2 is here, for example, and we've got this one over here, you can move it across, but obviously you're going to be moving it across in Jira and also on the board as well. But it allows you to see how you're progressing. You can group by lots of things. You can group by team, by status as well. So this is a good one. So by status, you can group by. So in progress, you can see all of these. Of course, this is just at the moment within the release train. We've got all of those views here. Now, we have got, this is where I'll make Jira users happy, and as your DevOps users, not so much yet. We have got Jira additional fields or custom fields. So if you have custom fields that you use in Jira, you'll be able to select them in your board settings. I'm sure most of you that use Jira know this by now. In the additional settings there, enable additional settings. You select which ones that matter to you here. And in your timeline view, I can select one. These are the ones that came through. So if you've got, I don't know, feature teams, for example, that's a field that we've got. We've got teams that actually own features. Then we can filter or group by that and just see the progress. We can also open these up, of course, and see more detailed view of what's actually happening in there. So you can group by custom fields. Some people use components because they have components teams. Some people use fixed versions. Wherever it is that you use, then you'll be able to group it by that in Jira. Now, for Azure DevOps, we haven't got the additional fields just yet. It's coming very soon, I've been told, before you all send me abuse. But we do show area path, and we do show parent epic. So if you have, a higher level of a feature would be the epic. So you can actually see that view here. You can group by that and be able to have a look at that across the board. So at least we've got that. I think that's the main one that people in Azure DevOps would use. Oh, I hope so anyway. But yes. By default, we show just the list of features, of course. So that's what that one is. And also, we've got group view by iteration or view by date. So these are, of course, iterations of sprints, just in case anybody's wondering. We can also view by date. At the moment, all that does is that it shows the start and end date of whether it's user stories or features. There's going to be actually more to that. I do have to say it's going to be a lot more clever than we've got it just yet. But anyway, that's what that does, just in case you're fearful of changing anything. And here, I don't know why I always see a wine glass, but apparently it's a funnel or filter. Yeah, see a wine glass always. But if you click on this, this behaves the same way as it does on the program board. So you'll get access to all of these additional filters. So if you wanted to filter based on all of the filters that you use on the program board, like car type, then you can. You'll get that. And also the search, of course, works in exactly the same way. So when you're looking for specific features, you can just start typing there, and yeah, you'll find them, and then you can list them accordingly. Just like you can on the program board, no changes there. Okay. So if I reset this, pull this back, there we go. So these bits that we have here, this is more kind of what we're doing in the future. So as I say, as I keep mentioning, this is PI at the moment. So the program increment that this is relates to, say for example, Q4 of PI4. Moving ahead, we're going to be looking at, also adding Q1 PI1. So you'll be able to see the future or upcoming PIs as well. And that's where really these views will come in, where you can kind of just click on them and it will show you, okay, well, the upcoming PIs, these are this, we've all seen it, dreaded features that skip across PIs, but at least you'll be able to view that on the Kendis board. And also this, you'll be able to move these around and not necessarily affect your JIRAs, whereas this, of course, this is what we have planned and committed. And if you make changes there, then you're changing the program board, so just be aware of that. But that's what all of these are anyway, these relate to. And of course, you can build, so we have some that just work monthly. You can just build it how you'd like in the custom view there and have that view then. This is just a refresh. It refreshes the timeline. And if you forget, which I'm sure you will, anything that I've mentioned today, hopefully it will be in the help article that we have here, but we have got, if it's just a click away, oops, it's just a click away here. So help, if you need help. And of course, you can contact our support team, you know, this inside and out. This settings area is going to have a lot more in there. At the moment, it's just literally the iteration shade, and also if you've got a feature open, that there's a gray there apparently. So if I do this and just show, yeah, so that's what that is. At the moment, that's all we have in the settings. But we are going to add a lot more in there as well. Okay, I think I've covered most of it. I will ask questions. Oops. Yeah. Please ask any questions and I will see if I can answer them. Just put your hand up. I think there's a hands icon. I know, I can't even see it on my screen.
Yeah. Not seeing anyone, but yeah, if you want to use the raise hand thing. Okay, we got one. We got two. Okay, Matt, I'm gonna unmute you first. Matt, go ahead and ask your question.
Hi, so I have a question. The number,
Hi.
the progress percentage that you can see, can I switch between story status and story estimate on the overview, or do I need to open the feature to see that?
You need to open a feature at the moment to see that. You mean like you can in objectives, you can switch between whether or not you want to get the, yeah, I know exactly what you mean. At the moment, you need to, yeah, it's only one available percentage at the moment, but we're going to update it exactly like you can do in the objectives.
Yeah, it would be great.
Okay. Yeah, no, I understand. Especially if you don't use, well, if you use statuses, it's fine. But if you use story points, then yeah, you want to switch between.
So, I mean, this feature with the timeline, it's so useful. I'm so happy that you implemented it. This is really what we can use to get the people in the release trains to start using the tracking, and it's so welcome by everybody.
Oh, fantastic! That's
big
good to
thumbs
hear.
up.
That's good to hear. Thank you very much for that. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Awesome. Okay, Stephen Mullins. I'm gonna do this.
Stephen Mullins.
Yes. Here we go. You should be unmuted. You can ask your question.
Hey, Justin, Stephen Mullins.
Hi,
I really like the timeline view. It reminds me a lot of the delivery plans, but saves the hassle of building the delivery plans in Azure DevOps. When will we be able to start playing with this in our private cloud subscription?
Oh, your private cloud, of course you are. It will be, I think, in the next week or two. It's generally 2 weeks after release. Stephen, if you can speak, I know who your account manager is. If you ping him an email, he'll get it all lined up for you. But I believe that's in about a week or two.
And of course, I need the Azure DevOps part. So even though you tried to say you were going to not do it, I need the Azure DevOps custom fields. You're not going to get away that easy.
I kind of skipped over it really quickly, didn't I? It didn't work. But I promise you, it's coming. I promise. I even saw it today, and that's why I remembered to mention it, because I wouldn't mention it if it was really bad news.
Thanks.
Okay, no worries at all. Nice to hear from you as well, by the way.
Okay, awesome. I'm gonna do, we have a few more. I'm gonna do Wouter. Here we go. Unmute. Hello? Yeah.
Hello. Hi, it's Wouter. Well, great to see this. Really happy to see it on feature level. Of course, I want more, always want more. But I would like to see this also one level up from here, so from the solution boards. That would be really interesting as well, because I really like this feature. Is that something that is that's coming up shortly, or is that something that you're thinking about?
Yeah, thank you, Walter. Hey, nice to hear from you as well, by the way. Yeah, absolutely. So you'll see lots of little enhancements, like I mentioned about the settings, like I mentioned about the status. You'll see that, but the next big release of it is going to actually be on that solution level. So yes, that's the next step, and then of course we need to do the past and the future as well, and add that to it. But yeah, certainly, absolutely, it will be on there, Walter.
Understand? Nice, very nice. Really looking forward to that. Can you also give an indication already of when approximately you will have that available?
So yeah, that you're on private cloud as well. So again, it will be the same as you and Stephen. I'm sorry, I think it's about a week and a half. So apologies for the delay, but we'll let you know as soon as that's.
No, I'm not talking about the timeline view as we see it today. I'm talking about the future personal solution level.
Oh, you are. Okay. Well, all right.
The timeline view today we have already, so that is really nice. We have it on a private cloud, so that's thanks for that.
Okay. No, that's okay. I'll put myself on the line and I'll say I believe it's going to be Q2 of next year for the solution board and the past and present. You will get things along the way, and it could be that you get the solution board earlier. How's that?
That sounds really great. Thanks. Yeah.
No worries at all.
Okay, awesome. I'm gonna do Jonathan. I'll unmute you. Here we go. Hello, Jonathan. You have a question?
Hello?
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yes. Yeah.
Hey guys, awesome work as always. I do have a question as I was trying to click around while following you, Justin. It's a question regarding like the start and end dates that show up on here. Are they actually mapped to the start and end dates or due dates that are in Jira?
Yeah, good question. So the start and end dates, I believe, on user stories do link to Jira.
Yeah, from what I
on
can
user
see,
stories, but
yeah.
on the I think on the oh gosh, what do you call it? On the features, they don't.
Okay.
It might be please support team, write something quickly if I'm letting you down, because I'm trying to think now, Jonathan. I think it might be just the end date that changes in Jira as opposed to the start date, because I think they didn't want people messing around with a start date from here and messing around with it in Jira. So I think it's just the end date that actually changes.
From what I could tell with the story, that when I move it to a sprint, the start end date switch, depending on what your iteration start end dates are, but the epic thing. So I was kind of curious. I mean, it rolls up.
Okay.
But if I change it in Jira, it doesn't reflect in here, which is fine. I'm just trying to make sure I understand.
Yes, of course, of course. Either way, if it doesn't, it definitely will, because we, as you know, we like to automate everything. We don't like to, you know, have anything manual. Sorry, I know. Is there something in the?
Yeah, we have a support wrote in the chat. Default values of the start and end date of the stories are based on the sprint dates, but not yet integrated to Jira.
Oh,
not yet, right? So tomorrow.
Not yet. Keywords. Exactly. I liked that question. You said soon, like tomorrow. Good one.
Doesn't hurt to ask, right?
Yeah.
No.
Right.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Thank you very much, Jonathan. Thank you.
Yeah, of course. Okay, so we have a few more. I'll do Sanjay. Unmute. Let's see. Sanjay, do you have a question? You're unmuted, I believe.
Yep.
Yeah, there we go.
Okay. Yeah. Hello. So
Hi,
my
Sanjay.
question is, hello. How are you?
Good. Thank you. Good. Thank you.
Yeah. So my question is related to the. So we are actually looking at the portfolio level roadmap, and so my question is around if I'm into the PI4, PI5, PI6. So is it possible for me to see the data for the same program increment, but at the different ones. Like if I'm planning something for a 6 month, then it will be spread across 2 PIs most probably. So that kind of look I'm just trying to have.
Sure, of course. So Sanjay, at the moment, no. At the moment, it's just in one PI. But the enhancements that I mentioned, they will be looking into your future and subsequent PIs. So you will be able to have that view. Yeah, so as you can imagine, this needs to be taken outside of a PI. So what I think it was Walter who was mentioning we're doing is having it on the solution level here, where you'll have lots of PIs here. So you'll have lots of program increments, and then you'll have the current. So this is what's obviously been planned. Maybe this is iteration 4 as well, and then the subsequent iteration 5 will be shown on that timeline view, and that's what's coming up in definitely by Q2 of next year.
And here I can see, so it supports multiple PI or multiple release trains. That is already there.
Multiple release trains who've done their PI planning. That's what the solution board is. On the timeline view, the timeline just shows actually what has been planned, but only on the program increment level, only on the release train level.
Okay.
You can't see it across multiple release trains just yet.
Okay, so it is limited to a release train and
yes,
the PI only, the current PI. So, for the
yes,
upcoming
exactly.
PIs, that is a new enhancement which we may expect by next quarter or so.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, Q2, Sanjay. Don't get me shot and say next quarter.
Okay.
But yes. All right.
Yeah, because our main intention, we wanted to use Kendis for the portfolio view, and that can only be achieved if we can plan across the PIs.
Yes, and that's a lots of pain points. So it's not just you, Sanjay, but absolutely we're calling it solution level view, by the way. But yeah, that's certainly what we're working on. Absolutely.
Yeah. I have not explored your solution level view as of now, but I will go and check if that helps me, or if required, I may have a separate call with your team.
Yeah, please do. Yes, and you've got our email, team@kendis.io, or I believe you'll find my email anyway, and just happy to have a meeting with you. Okay.
And one last question.
Okay.
So I think this is pretty self-explanatory. So you are showing features list here over here in the backlog, but we normally start from the epic, not from the feature. So I think whatever I'm pulling from my query, that will be displayed over here. It could be anything, correct?
Yes, exactly. Yes, exactly. Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
And then it's just a label. So if you use the epics, you can just change the label and just mark it as epics. That's fine.
Yeah, got it. Thank you.
Okay.
I was just confirming.
No worries at all. Thank you, Ina. Anyone else?
Yes. Yeah, we have some more. Patrick, I'm going to unmute you.
Okay.
Patrick, are you there?
Am I audible now?
Yes.
Okay, cool. All right.
Hi.
Yeah. Yep. Shout out to Steve Mullins. Real quick, we use this application quite a bit, and outside of using Snagit, when you have multiple features, is there a way to export this to a PDF to make it available to PowerPoint or any kind of report?
Not yet. I hate disappointing you, but not yet. Not in this kind of view. I can see why they're not quick to do it. It's because our USP, if you like, is our boards. And then so when we provide, okay, well, you can, PNG of our boards, and of course, it kind of limits the users that would use it. So but I'm sure it will be exportable in some way. It needs to be. I think roadmap is a bit different to a board, so I'm sure it will be on the list as well.
All right, thanks.
I'm making a note so I can find that out. Patrick, does your company begin with a K?
It does, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So I'll email you actually, and when I find out, I'll email you. Okay. Nice to hear from you as well. Hope you're doing well.
Awesome. Okay. That is all the questions I'm seeing. If anyone else, oh, we got another. Steve wants to come back on. There you go. You're unmuted.
Shout out to Patrick.
Justin, yeah, there are a lot of questions on the solution board, and last time, we tried the solution board, we put one together, like the look of it, but we couldn't show dependencies. So we have a solution with 2 arts, small solution, and we wanted to show a dependency from art 1 against art 2 on the solution board. And of course, last time we talked, you said in Azure DevOps, you could not do that. I saw the links there. Has that now been fixed to where I'm in a single collection in Azure DevOps? So that the links are visible to you, when you're connected. But can I show a dependency from team A in art A to team B in art B on the solution board? Because that's a big item for us.
So yeah, okay. And this is something that's coming in very soon. This is a separate track to what we're building. I don't have any timelines for it. It could be the end of the year. So what you can do, you can link capabilities or even features between release trains. So that's what you can do, and that's the lines that you see here. However, when you do them, they don't get created in ADO. I think that's probably what I said to you before. They're not unfortunately created in ADO just yet, but that improvement that's coming at the end of the year, we'll be able to have that automatic link. Now, on this level, we've got the epic level here. Obviously, safe call it capability, and we call it a solution level, so we show that. But you can also have the feature, just in case you only know your dependencies by features, you can have that and you're able to do the dependency. It's pretty much how it's done on that main board. Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Yes, it will be. Yeah. All right. But yeah, why don't you arrange for speak to your account manager, Stephen, and then we'll have a call and we can play around with it and show you with live data.
Okay. Yeah, it'd be perfect. Thanks.
All right. All right. No worries at all. Any more?
Awesome.
I know
We have one more. Yeah, we have one more. Nisha, I'm gonna unmute you. Oh, just kidding.
No, I'm here. I'm here. I just lowered my hand.
Oh, okay.
I'm here.
Oh, okay.
Hi guys, how are you?
Went off. Okay.
Sorry about that. I was just trying to take my hand down so that you don't have to call on me again, Okay, so my question is back on the solution board as well. This, by the way, I love. I'm so happy you guys developed this, so thank you so much. It makes life a lot easier. I've already shown my team fit since Chuck and I had a call earlier in the week, and he showed me all about it. So thank you again. And then on the solution board, though, one question my team keeps having is when you filter the solution board by unplanned work, then on the right side where you've already planned work in the sprints, that disappears, and they don't want to see that disappear. They still want the work to appear on the right side, but the unplanned epics removed from the left. Is that something you guys are working on? Does that make sense?
Yes, it is. Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, because so it's been kind of sorted out on the program board, and so it needs now then to be changed on the solution board. And unfortunately, a bit like self-hosted, it takes a while for it to be upgraded on the solution board. But absolutely, yes, absolutely, that's coming very soon with that delivery of the changes of the solution board that I mentioned. Absolutely.
Oh, awesome! Is that in quarter 2?
No, it's going to be sooner.
Oh, sooner. Okay, great.
Yes. For the solution board, absolutely.
I didn't want to say, next week, like somebody else did earlier, and then you said, no, give me till quarter 2. Also, my last question is, my co-partner wasn't able to join the call, so can you guys send out a recording of this?
I know. I think it automatically
Yes,
sends
we
out.
will.
Does it? Or...
It will. Okay,
Yeah,
great.
send a
Thank you
follow-up
so
email.
much.
There'll be a link. Yeah, for sure.
Thank you so much. Appreciate
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Thank you, Misha. Take care.
Okay, I
See you
think
too.
that's it for questions. Last chance to raise your hand if anyone has a question. Yeah, we're getting a lot of supports answering a lot of questions too. So yeah,
Okay.
what do you think? Should we
Just wanna
wrap it
share
up?
one thing.
Anything else?
I just want to
Okay.
share one thing, just because Misha mentioned unplanned. You can group by unplanned in this as well. And it will show you all of your unplanned stories. You can actually then plan them from here. But bear in mind that, of course, when you're selecting a team, when you're selecting a sprint, this will be created in Jira properly. But sometimes it's just easier to see that list view rather than lots of cards and moving things around. You can just plan them all in here if they haven't been planned already. I just wanted to mention that. I know, sorry to interrupt your flow.
Oh, no flow here. Think, yeah, if there's anything else you want to say, or I can wrap it up. Last chance to raise hands if anyone has something to say, go for it. But yeah. Okay, cool. I will just go ahead and wrap it up. Thank you all for coming. Again, if you have questions, reach out to our support or your account manager. Don't forget about our next clinic. Fill out that end survey for us. Leave any feedback in there if you would like to. And yeah, also I wanted to mention those of you who are new to Kendis who are on this call, thanks for coming, and I hope we see you again soon. Yeah, great work. Thanks for asking so many questions, everyone. I'm gonna go ahead and end it so you can fill out that survey. So thank you.
Thank
Bye,
you very
Justin.
much. Thanks, guys. Thank you. Bye, I know. Thank you, I know.
Bye.